Hello again. I will be showing you how to access and sign up for Khan Academy in your classroom. So to get started with creating your own classroom on Khan Academy, you need to first access the website, which is khanacademy.org, and you'll be brought to the homepage you see here. In the middle of the homepage, you will see three options. For teachers, which we're going to be using, we will select Teacher Start here. And this will bring you to the sign up page. So there are different options you could use to sign up. Facebook, which I don't recommend since you will be using this in school. Gmail, if your school district does offer Gmail. Or Google accounts, you could use this. But in my case, in our district, we do not. So I will be using my district email address. So you just follow the information here, enter your first, last name, and email. So for me, and then my school email. And since I already signed up previously, I will not be going through the process. So you just hit sign up. It will ask you to create a username, password, just typical sign up for pretty much anything. So for me, I will go to the login, which you would do after you finish the sign up process, and put in the same information you used to sign up. And my password. So when you sign up, you will see your dashboard, and for the first time it will give you instruction on how to completely create your online classroom. And when you are just beginning, you get a coach checklist of all the steps that you need to do to get your students set up, get your classroom set up, things of that nature. Alright, so technically I did create my class already, but I will create another one just to show you how to get started. So I hit the add class feature, and then it will ask you to create a class name. So whatever class it is, whatever period it is, that's what you would typically name it so the kids don't get confused, and so you don't get confused as well. So I will use World History period 3-4 and hit create class. When you do that, it will bring you to a default page that you see here. This default page is focused on math and programming. So if you start at the top, you will see all the different maths, basically from K1-2 through secondary and post-secondary. There are also programming options as well. And if your mission for your class is not math or programming, you would select this is not a math or programming class. So I would select this, and then it brings you to your setting up student page. Basically, there are two different options here. So to have your students register for this, you could either provide your student's email address in this box here. This would be lengthy because you would have to input every single one of your student email addresses, and if the case is that your district does not provide students with emails, as in my district they do not, we cannot use this option. I don't recommend using personal emails, just so if there is any issues, you won't be liable. So if there is no student district email, I would not use this feature. If that's the case, you go basically to the manual option here, where the students have to do it themselves. Directions are very simple. All right, you could have them sign up at khanacademy.org. They have to visit khanacademy.org/coaches. And then once they get to this option, they would select the box add a coach. That's basically you, the teacher. They have, and then it's going to ask to input a code, a class code, which you will provide them. And in this case, this is my class code right here, P2WKHU. Input that, and then they will be brought to your class page for Khan Academy. If your students can't do this by just hearing the instructions, you could either project this on the overhead projector, smartboard, whatever you have, or you could print the instructions in a handout format and just hand it out to everybody, and they could follow the instructions. They will have the code in front of them, and then they should be good to go. So once you have everything set up, your kids are registered, they're on your class, hit done adding new students. Now, since I don't have any students available right now, no students are going to show up. So if I select the student option, there are no students listed. And child accounts, I do not have any child accounts created, so I cannot edit, update, change settings in here. Like you see here, you could manage your passwords, which is good. So you could, I'm assuming you could have access to that if you need it. And if there ever is an issue with them logging on, like most likely forgetting their password, you could help them with that. So if I just go back to my class webpage that I created, it doesn't show you much since there are no students added. But once you add them, they will be listed right in front of you, right down here. Then, as in Hazleton, the student population is very transient, coming and going, switching classes, switching districts, schools, what have you. So you could always be remove students from your class, switching them to another class if you have to. And then to add students, you just use this add students box right here, and it'll bring you back to the same page that you started with, or your student started with, either using their school email address of the student, or having them do it manually by going to the website and adding the class code. So you have your links up here that you would use frequently, your dashboard, which brings you to your basically all the classes that you created. In my case, I would most likely have 3, since I teach 3 classes a semester. But if you are in middle school or elementary, there will be more than 3. You have manage your students, which I would just add, passwords, switching, adding, and removing students. And then as they're working through their assignments, there will be a progress report uploaded. You have a skills progress. Your grid option, which would be here once students are added to the class. Activity, again, once students are added to the class or added to the class, there would be the activity would be on here. And real time, here you get to see their progress in real time. So all this is very helpful, very engaging, and if you are looking for data, this is great, especially now with the student learning objectives that the state of Pennsylvania is using. Data is pretty much the #1 key for student learning objectives, and this is a great data tool that you could use for that. So it's all very, very helpful for you and your students. Back to dashboard again. This is your main screen that you would see every time you log on, but there will be more information once all your classes and students are added. And if there are any issues you are having, you need help, if there's technical issues, you do have this side learning tool over here. The coach, which is you have your resources. You have all these resources here. And you have your facts and questions. So you should not have too much trouble with this. Once it's all set up, it's pretty self-explanatory. So I hope this video helped. And I will see you again with more videos, hopefully soon. Thank you.